Hey everybody, Saturday afternoon, rainy afternoon in Asheville, North Carolina. It's a joy, it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be with you. Had an amazing week, and I'm just going to take some time on this Saturday afternoon and kick back with you and relax and share some reflections on the week, share some wisdom on the week, and trusting that it will be beneficial for whoever is present with me. And when you're entering, when you're here, say hello, share where you are in the world. You can ask questions, comments anytime. You can hit the heart button. You can get engaged. This is an interactive space to share what is alive for you, what is true for you, what is real for you, what is genuine for you, what you're curious about, what you're inquiring into, what you're exploring. Hi, Robin. Just popped in. It's synchronicity, right? Divine timing, divine ordination. Is that the word? We're just hanging out on a Saturday afternoon and just sharing, exploring what's alive, what's happening. It's funny because I'm not much of a multitasker. I tend to like to sort of just hone in and give my full focus and attention. So even doing this, I'm like, am I here or am I here? Because I'm on Instagram here and I'm on Facebook Live here, which I haven't done recently, but it does make things simpler where I can reach everybody at the same time. And there's this kind of multitasking thing where there's like, things that are coming through to share, and then there's comments on Facebook. Hey, Carrie, haven't heard from you in a while. Where are you, Carrie? Where are you in the world? So there's Facebook here, there's Instagram here, and there's comments, and I'm going to track it all and be present with it all, and be grateful and appreciative for all of you sharing the space with me live or wherever you come in contact with this video. So great sessions this week. They're getting better and better and better. The individual sessions and the group sessions. They're getting better and better. Oh, I gotta charge my battery. Hold on. The unexpected joys of life, Gotta charge the battery. Luckily, there's a charger here, so that won't be a problem. It's interesting how we have this technology where you need to charge the battery, right? And then it's a great metaphor for our own lives, because we have these batteries that need to be charged every so often. And then there's this kind of reflection of, yeah, and I have a battery, and am I charging my own battery, right? Am I making space to charge my battery? First, I got to get it in this little spot. No, that's not it. Am I making space to charge my battery, right? 1 second, guys. There we go. Battery is charged. We're going to take that out, move that there, and we're set. So, yeah, making that space to rest, regenerate, rejuvenate the system, to heal. And a powerful way, I would say the most powerful way to do that, sleep is great. And most of us aren't getting enough sleep. We're not getting well rested. But meditation is such a powerful way to regenerate the system, to re-energize the system, to hit that, what I call the 0 point, right? To hit what I call the 0 point. The 0 point is the spot where everything that you've been holding on to, everything that you've been having a tight grip of, everything that you've been kind of just circling around in your mind over and over and over, repeating, right? Everything that's been closed down in your heart, emotionally, physically, the tension in your body, all of that gets released and let go. All of that gets released and let go. And it's sort of like a reset button, right? The reset button on your computer, kind of reboot, kind of reset, reboot the system. So everything is let go and released and opened. And in that vast openness, that complete emptiness, which is a complete freedom, which is a complete space of deep, deep, profound peace, love, and empowerment, you come back into this world, or I would rather say you go forward into this world, because that's one of the great misconceptions that I want to work with people. It's like, well, I had this great spiritual experience, I want to get back to it. Oh, nope. No going back. No going back to anything. We're never going back to anything. We're only ever going forward. We're only ever going to what's new, to what's new now, to what's new now, to what's new now, what's new now. So we're opening to the new. There's what I call an innocence consciousness, right? Innocence consciousness. So what is happening with people that I work with, whatever the direction that we're going, whatever the subject is, whether it's relationships, whether it's the body, whether it's purpose, work, whether it's spiritual connection, finances, whatever the intention is, whatever the block is, whatever the dynamic is that we're looking at, the direction, the root of what we're getting to is always the same. It's always the same. And that's what's so powerful. That's what's so beautiful, is because for me, whatever the problem is, the solution's always the same. Whatever the problem is, the solution's always, and there's millions and millions and millions of problems, but when you realize there's actually only one solution, it all becomes very simple. And the solution is to be able to let go of the illusion of the past and open fully, wholly, and completely to the present moment, to be a clear channel to be able to create the future in this present moment right now. So, how do you do that? You don't do it by thinking about it. You don't do it by some cute, reconfiguration of your mind, thinking about something in some cool new way. You don't do it through knowledge. You don't do it through more information. You don't do it through digesting more and more words, through more content. So how do you do it? It's the simplest, yet in a way, most challenging, difficult thing, because we're used to a linear format of, here's the steps to get from point A to point B. Tell me the steps to get from point A to point B, and I might do it. I probably won't do it, but at least I'll know the steps from point A to point B, even though they're not actually the real steps in most cases. Because we're only ever following maps from the past. That's an important thing to recognize and realize. We're only ever following. So someone gives you a map to get from point A to point B. Those were the directions that worked at the time that they went from point A to point B. It may not necessarily be the same for you presently, right? So this is how you get from Texas to New York City, and then you follow the different roads, and then the road is blocked. There's a big construction being done, the road's blocked. It's like, oh, now I don't know how to get there, right? So the amazing thing is, in the time that we live in now, such a great metaphor for so much of what I do and what I work with is the GPS system, right? Because with the GPS, I don't actually know how to get there. I just know where I'm going. And even the GPS doesn't necessarily know how to get there. The GPS will just give you the best way to get there as you go forward, right? It can adjust, it can realign as you go forward, depending on traffic, depending on construction, depending on whatever is happening on your pathway there, right? So much of this journey is knowing where you want to go, right? Knowing where you want to go and being clear on what your intention is. And where we want to go, and this is where the paradox comes in, right? Where we want to go is this moment right now. Where we want to go is this moment right now. As we start to awaken in our consciousness, the recognition, the realization dawns. This is where it's happening. This is the only place it's happening. It's not happening anywhere else. It never has happened anywhere else. It never will be happening anywhere else. This is where the magic is. This is where the miracle is. This is where the life force is. This is where the vitality is. This is where the excitement is. This is where the passion is. This is where the harmony, the serenity, the guidance, the intelligence. One of the phrases that's been coming through really strongly in the sessions this week: trust the intelligence of the moment. Trust the intelligence of the moment. Trust the intelligence of the moment. What does that mean, trust the intelligence of the moment? It means instead of getting into your head, instead of getting into, well, what do I do? Who is this person? What do they want? Who are they? What am I? Where? It's all speculating about the future, but the future is not happening. What's happening is the present moment. So if we're present in the moment, we're informed by the present moments. We're informed by the present moment what to say. We're informed by the present moment what to think. We're informed by the present moment what to feel. We're informed by the present moment which direction to move. See, the issue is we've made thinking, we've come into a place in the evolution of our consciousness where we think that thinking is the primary foundation of intelligence. But thinking is not the foundational primary level of intelligence. Presence is where the intelligence lies. Thinking is a secondary tool. We've made thinking way too important, and it's causing so much suffering. Thinking is causing so much suffering. And we think that the suffering is being caused from outside us, so we think. And the thinking that the suffering is coming from outside us is itself creating so much suffering. You see, that itself is a thought. Does that make sense? So the entire universe that we're experiencing is constructed by our thoughts, is constructed by our minds. And if you start to get that point, if you can recognize and realize that, then the gateway opens for you. The gateway opens for you because for you, there's a way out. There's a way out. And as the saying goes, the way out is the way in. Right? The way out is to recognize who you really are and to recognize that what you're experiencing is the construction of your mind, is the construction of thought, which then creates the potentiality, which creates the possibility to experience something utterly more amazing, magical, and miraculous. There's this idea that there's so many different ways of looking at things. There's so many different belief systems. There's so many different religions. There's so many different spiritual pathways. It's so confusing. It's so, which one do I choose? And actually, it seems that way on the surface, that there's so many different religions and spiritualities and pathways and beliefs, and which one do I choose? But actually, there's only one truth. There's only one truth, and it's shared in a variety of different ways, in a variety of different contexts, with a variety of different languaging from a variety of different cultures and times and places throughout time. And one of the things that you'll see in every spiritual sage or teacher or writer or author or poet is that this world is an illusion. This world is an illusion. They all say that. This world is an illusion. Now, what does that mean? This world is an illusion. Or you might hear it said, this world is a dream. Because when you go deep into your consciousness, and some people come to this truth through psychedelics or ayahuasca, but it's not necessary. The only thing that's necessary is to be really, really present and pay really, really close attention. And you'll see, and this is what meditation really at its essence is, just paying close attention to the moment. That's all meditation really is. Paying really, really close attention to the moment. Tammy says, past, present, and future are all here parallel at all times infinitely. Beautifully stated. Thank you for sharing that. Reverend says, I like it when you say, just allow it all to be as it is. Yeah, we'll go deeper into that statement too, because there's a deeper level to that. So everything is an illusion means what we are experiencing is constructed by the mind, by thought, by story, by belief. By thought, by mind, by story, by belief. What we're experiencing is constructed by our minds. So one of the things I like to say that's can be mind-blowing if you haven't thought about it or felt into it before, is that the universe is actually not constructed by atoms. It's actually constructed by stories. The universe is actually constructed by stories. So the stories that we're telling each other, the stories that we're telling ourselves, are how we experience the world of time and space. Now imagine if that was more collectively understood. Imagine if our governments understood that. Imagine if our hospitals understood that. Right? If the WHO, if the World Health Organization understood that, the CDC understood that, if all of these institutions and bodies and governments, if our militaries, if there was an understanding on a more collective level that the universe, the world we're experiencing, is being constructed by the stories we're telling ourselves and the stories we're telling each other. And we all know this is true. We all know this is true. It's just a really simple example. If I wake up and I say, I'm going to have a really horrible day today, I'm going to have a really terrible day today, right? We all know that it's not going to be like, oh, actually, the day was great. No, because I'm telling myself, it's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because I'm telling myself that, and if I really believe that, then I'm filtering out the data and the information that doesn't align with that story, with that belief, right? If I tell myself, I'm going to have a great day today, I'm filtering out the information that doesn't align with that belief. So even if something difficult happens, even if something challenging happens, even if something unexpected happens, my mind is looking for what is the positive in it? What is the opportunity in it? And it goes deeper than that, but that's a very simple way to understand how this works, right? There's a great book that I enjoyed by an author named John Perkins, and the title is "The World Is As You Dream It." The world is as you dream it. And it was a book based on indigenous shaman in South America, and that was their message to the author to take back to the United States, to the people of the United States, is why are you creating this world with pollution and crime and people angry at each other and all this fighting and the fights of this? The world is as you dream it. If you don't like it, dream something different, because you dream this world. Collectively, we've dreamed this world into being. So if we don't like it, dream something different. So the world is constructed, the universe is constructed by the collective dreamer. This is the great revelation Rosage opened. The world is constructed by the collective dreamer. Now you might say, well, then why have we created suffering and homelessness and poverty and starvation and illness and disease and fear? And it's like, why have we created all that? Well, that's a great question. That's the question you start to ask. But start with yourself, right? Start with your own life. So remember, this is the way out, which is the way in. So you start to pay really, really close attention to the thoughts that are moving across the screen of the mind, the feelings that are moving across the screen of the mind. Why are we creating the world we're creating? The ultimate answer that again is universally come to is for play, because it's fun. We like the duality. We like the play of day and night, of happiness and sadness, of pleasure and pain. We like the theater of it, right? But if you don't, it's a pass, because if you don't recognize it's play, then it's not fun at all. It's horrific. It's terrible. There's no freedom in it. You think it's who you really are. So this is what we call waking up, right? Waking up. Being in the world, but not of it. Being in the world, but not of it. So what I found in the sessions that I'm doing and in the sessions I do, we'll have inquiry, so asking people the right questions to access things that they may not have brought into their awareness, to integrate different things that they may not have looked at fully or seen fully or given attention to inside. Guided meditations, guided ecstatic meditations, mindfulness exercises, embodiment exercises. But it's all geared to bring you into a deep, relaxed, open place of presence in this moment. And when there's a deep, relaxed, open space of presence in this moment, the intelligence of this moment is then able to work its magic, work its wonder through you, through the nervous system of your body, through your beautiful heart, through your beautiful mind, through every cell of your being. work its magic through you. The universe wants to work its magic through you. God wants to work its magic through you. Spirit wants to work its magic through you. Why are you closed? You see, why are you closed? So we create a safe space, a safe confidential space, a sanctuary, if you will, to bring oneself into a relaxed open space of presence in this moment. And it just happens naturally. It is our natural state, right? So it happens naturally. There's not a lot of force or pushing or effort. There's so much beauty that wants to flow through us. There's so much magic that wants to flow through us. There's so much love for sure that wants to flow through us. So much creativity, so much genius that wants to flow through us. Robin says, or we could say it's all happening, but what you choose is what comes alive to you and takes on power in your life. Robin says, I love how you don't rely on mind-altering substances, Brian. I have a deep respect for that. If they understood that, they'd disappear into the ether. So let's talk about mind-altering substances from it, because they're getting more and more kind of in the collective dialogue, the communal dialogue. They're being more accepted. There's more of an awareness. There's more of an appreciation. I like the Joe Rogan podcast. He talks a lot about psychedelics, and he's got a big audience. So more and more people are being exposed to the potential of psychedelics, psilocybin, ayahuasca, etc. And the thing with psychedelics, the thing with anything that's a thing is that it's a thing. That's my issue with anything that's a thing, is that it's a thing. And what we're talking about, what we're pointing at, is not a thing. So if you're focused on a thing, it's like the Buddha said, there's a finger pointing at the moon. Why are you focused on the finger? Right? Why are you focused on the thing? Whatever the thing is, that's the essence. If there's anything to understand about spirituality, what we call spirituality, is that it's not a thing. There could be disagreement about what spirituality is, but spirituality by definition means it's not a thing, right? So you can have a substance that has aided you to recognize and realize who you really are, for sure, right? And people have had substances that have helped them and aided them to recognize who they really are. But the substance is not the recognition of who you really are, and you don't need the substance to recognize and realize who you really are, because if you did, it wouldn't be who you really are. That's the key. If I need something outside myself to realize who I really am, then it's obviously not who I really am. Otherwise, I wouldn't need the thing outside myself. So we take that deeper, and what that means is who you really are, and who you really are is where the tremendous freedom lies, is where everything we're pointing at lies. Everything that I'm bringing people to is a recognition and realization of who they really are, and to live from that place, to live from the foundation of this place, of who I really am, of what I really am. And to express it in this world. So there's this infinite freedom. There's four qualities that I always see love, freedom, empowerment, and peace. Love, freedom, empowerment, and peace, or you could say serenity, harmony. So, who I really am, what I really am, is not an experience because experience is temporary. So, there's actually no real freedom in an experience, no matter what the experience is, because experience is temporary. Now, that may sound kind of boring or disappointing. It's sort of, it's kind of when people hear about Buddhism, it's like emptiness, void, for especially for Americans, for sure. Americans are like, emptiness, void, nothingness. I don't want that. I want a new car, you know? I want a hot chick. I want a sexy man, woman. I want a Ferrari. I don't want emptiness, void, nothingness. It sounds dull. It sounds boring. But when you open up into this recognition of who you really are, which is beyond the consciousness of thought, beyond the content of thought. Okay, so we're just using words now. The word is not the thing. The words are like pointers. So it's like a space of infinite possibility. Who and what you are is a space of infinite possibility. So the idea that it's dull or it's boring or it's lame is just an idea. You're still in the content of the mind. There is no conceptuality for what we're pointing at. Whatever the idea is about it is just an idea. There's a line in my book, The Big Glow, that says, enlightenment, it's not what you think it is. Enlightenment, it's not what you think it is. So you're in a space of infinite possibility that's free of thought, free of concept, free of any ideas, which means it's free of the world of time and space, because remember I said the world is constructed by thoughts. The world is constructed by our mind. So no mind, no universe. No mind, no you. You are constructed by the mind. No mind, no you. No self, no problem. And from the space of infinite possibility, all things are possible for you. So if you want to know what's the point, what's the benefit, what do I get out of this? The true answer is nothing, but the more secondary answer is everything. Everything, because everything becomes possible for you. Before you were limited, you open into this 0 point, into this place of infinite possibility, and everything is possible for you. You have no limits in your mind of I can't do this or I can't do that, or I'll never be able to get here, I'll never be able to go there, I'll never be able to be in a relationship with him or her, or I'll never be able to have this amount of money, I'll never be able to have. So all the things that are in this universe are available to you. And there's no need to have any of them. This is why there's confusion about, there's this perception that people that are awakened are ascetic, renouncing material things. That's a stepping stone some people move through on the path, but it's definitely not awakened consciousness at all, because there's a duality there. There's a duality, there's a separation, there's division, there's a wall. But the reason that it can seem that way or look that way historically, if you look at different figures historically, is because the one who is from the awakened consciousness doesn't need anything because they already have it all. You already have it all. There's nothing lacking. There is no lack in this consciousness. It's the emptiness is a fullness. The emptiness is a fullness. Tammy says, no mind is bliss. Going to the light, knowing that I have dominion when it comes to my moods. It's all my choice. So there's nothing lacking. There's nothing that you need. There's this fullness. And everybody's had at least a moment like this. And it's simple. It's kind of like, you know, you're hiking over the mountain. All of a sudden you see the sunset. There's nothing that is lacking in that moment. There's nothing that you're thinking about. There's nothing like, oh, I need this, I need that, I have to get. No, you're just in the fullness of the moment, but your mind is also empty. So the emptiness is a fullness. The emptiness is a fullness. And that is the essence of who you really are. Is it wrong to choose to own a house? Definitely not. No. It's not wrong to choose a house. There's really nothing wrong in this path at all. That's kind of the shocking thing you recognize and realize. Rumi said, out beyond the notion of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. One of his most famous lines, right? And so you're opening up into this moment, and in opening up into this moment, in the fullness of this moment, life guides you and directs you where to go, where to move, what to say, what to do. You become one with the Tao, as they say in Taoism. So, in this place of fullness, in this openness, in this vastness, in this emptiness, which is a fullness, in the moment, you're not coming from a place of lack, you're coming from a place of fullness, and from the place of fullness, there is an overflowing. In other words, there's a creative energy. That's the difference. That's the difference. So if you're really in this awakened consciousness, you're not flat, you're not dull, you're not lame, you're not boring. That's just another stepping stone on the path of like, kind of like, oh, the world, I need to avoid the world. The world is suffering. No, the world is not the cause of suffering. You're the cause of suffering, not the world. There is no world. So that's a stepping stone on the path. And so when you open up to this consciousness, this awakened consciousness, it transcends even religion. It transcends even spirituality. It transcends philosophy. It transcends and includes everything. It transcends and includes everything. So you're just alive, awake to the moment. You're alive and awake to the moment. And there's a creative energy. And that's what's beautiful, is because when I become empty inside, when the mind becomes quiet and empty inside, there's a creative energy that now can move through me, which is alive to the moment. It's an intelligence to the moment. Krishnamurti called it the awakening of intelligence. The awakening of intelligence. It's alive to the moment. So there's a genius that moves through me in the moment. And it's accessible to everyone. So the ego is, think of the ego like a shell, you know? And the ego opens and lets the light come through, and the light is the genius, and it comes through you. So this is why people, in accessing this inner state inside, this inner stillness, this inner consciousness, beautiful poetry comes through, beautiful music comes through, beautiful films come through, photography, beautiful philosophies, paintings, relationships, architecture. This is the seat of creativity. And that's why I'm actually really more interested in the great artists than I am in the great priests or ministers or preachers, because they're accessing, it's when you see beautiful creations coming through somebody, that means the creator is moving through them, right? God is the creator is God. So they are a channel, they're accessing God consciousness. They're accessing what I call the universal creative intelligence. Robin says there are things I chose to have, but I liked enjoying every minute that happened on the way to getting it to. Yeah, appreciating every moment, appreciating the linear journey, the linear journey through time and space, and knowing that everything you're experiencing is temporary. Everything you're experiencing is temporary. That is another universal truth. Everything we're experiencing is temporary. Indisputable. The stuff you like and the stuff you don't like, temporary. So every experience is temporary. And that's the very reason why experience is not who you really are. Because who you really are is not temporary. Ministers and preachers are giving love and support, Robin says. Some of them are, some of them are not, right? I mean, some of them are. Some of them are talking about you're going to go to hell, you're going to burn in hell, hatred for people who have certain sexual orientations and, sinners and all of this kind of stuff, right? So this is like mind-based division, separation that is something that can be transcended, and someone that's in this awakened consciousness, because the awakened consciousness is an openness to recognition that divinity touches everything. Divinity is in everyone and all things. Divinity is in everyone and in all things. So when you recognize that in yourself, then you recognize that in everything else being reflected back to you. Hey, Wilda. Great to see you here. Anybody have any questions, comments? Reflections? Just really reminding you to remember to continue to come into the moment, to come back into the moment. What's happening right now? Because we're really getting lost in the mind, and social media is often problematic in that way. Aids and supports that. Merton said, Thomas Merton, I assume you're talking about, said, all is Dharmakaya. What is Dharmakaya? Dharma is like a, well, Dharma is used different ways, but I'd love an English translation of what you feel that means. So yeah, we kind of get caught up in what could happen and what might happen and what should happen and what shouldn't happen. And, but what if this happens? Then I'll make that happen. And if that happens, then I'll make this happen. And but then that will happen. But then this will happen. And, oh my God, things are they're getting so blah, blah, blah. It's like wait a minute, what's actually happening? What's happening right now? Tammy says, we are infinite, but what if one feels the need to help and cross over? Cross over. Cross over to where? And help who? Helping is a very interesting thing. Helping is anytime you want to help somebody, it's dangerous, treacherous territory. It's a really fascinating to look at, actually. Obviously, helping people is a phenomenal thing. It's why we're here. Right? We're here to help people. We're here to be of service. We're here to take care of each other, support each other on the path. And wanting to help people that don't want your help and haven't asked for it and aren't interested in it is a problem. It's a sign that we're back in that lack consciousness. So this is a big topic you're bringing up. I'm thinking if I can go into it all right now. Robin says, I love thinking that it's all perfect. The universe is baking the cake and the chemicalization is taking place. I choose to be out of the fray. I choose to hold patience and calmness and love. I choose to be my cake and eat it too. How about that? Can that be like a new bumper sticker? I am my cake and I eat it. I eat myself as a cake. I'm the icing and I'm the everything. I'm my own cake. Maybe to help, Wilda says, is just to provide the space to enter relaxed, open presence. Beautiful. Beautiful. And that's really an answer to your question, Tammy. That's the foundation. Whenever we're helping somebody, that's the foundation of all we're ever doing. If you think about it, I can think about situations for me where someone was in a lot of distress, and I happened to be available and I also was able to be present with them, right? In other words, just giving my full attention. And then they're like, "Oh my God, you helped me so much. Oh my God, I feel so different now. I feel so much better now." And it's kind of like, well, what did I do? I just sat here. I didn't do anything. But actually, I did the most essential thing of all. I provided the space to enter relaxed, open presence. That's the key. When people are really spinning in the mind, when they're really kind of, what's going to happen? My God, I don't know. It's like relaxed, open presence. And then they're working through it, working through it, working through it, and it's like, oh yeah, now I've re-entered the space of who I really am. I don't like to say remembered because remembered means it's a mental thing. It's not a mental thing, right? You could say I've re-entered the space of who I really am. So the relaxed, providing the space to enter relaxed open presence. And then crossing over is just it's just that. It's kind of like, from this consciousness, it's just like imagine there's a bridge and there's a stream, or there's a little, yeah, let's say a stream of water, and you walk across the bridge and you crossed over, right? So you crossed over from here to here, but you're still here. You're still you, right? You're still you. So you crossed. So we're crossing bridges all the time. We're crossing into different worlds all the time. You know, I died yesterday. Died. I opened to this morning, right? So I crossed the bridge into a new day, into a new sunlight and sunrise, and right, raining this morning instead of sunny yesterday. So we're crossing bridges, but whatever bridge we're moving through, whatever worlds we're moving through, whatever universes we're moving through, is secondary to the awareness in which these universes are opening and closing back into. Does that make sense? So as you awaken in this consciousness, it's not that you are moving from one world to the next. It's that different worlds are moving inside you, inside your consciousness. This is such a key thing to recognize and realize, such a key component. Thank you all so much for being here, for being present, popping on live on a Saturday. I think we'll do this again. And if you want to dive into if there's an imaginary troll under the bridge you have to get past. Yeah, that's fun. It's like a fun story, Oh, there's a bridge, there's a troll. Can I get past it? I mean, and I'm saying that literally. Like it is. It's why people play video games. You know, it's like I'm Mario. I have to get past whatever the big green monster thing is. Can I get around it? Can I get past it? If I die, I get another life. You're welcome, Robin. So just to keep that in mind, you know, just to keep that in mind that these are stories that we're constructing, and these are games that we're playing out. You know, um, it's all part of this journey that has been created by the creative intelligence that we are ultimately one with. So, if you want to connect deeper with what I'm doing, I'll put a couple links in, but I have some space for personal sessions together. So just send me a message about that. We have the group sessions on Wednesdays. Robin's here live with us right now. She's a part of that group. So I'll send you a link about that. And we meditate together and go into some Q&A together. And it's a really beautiful group of people. And I also do personal retreats with people. So I just finished a really powerful one this week. Um, so if you want to have a personal retreat and be guided, that's available too. Appreciate y'all so much. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your day, and see you in the next